ladies and gents, we're back with another one with a special guest, Mandeezy, aka Amanda, correct?
How's it going? Yeah, Amanda.
Okay. And we got a special guest,
You know me. I'm just on the other side of the couch.
the one that doesn't really talk much.
What do you call us? Laurel and Hardy?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I had to look up
I do
because I
talk.
did not know who that was.
I didn't know either. But I do talk.
All right. So I try to have different types of athletes and people and just from all walks of life on here because I think people just get bored of hearing everyone say, yeah, I spar and yeah, I fight. Yeah, I spar and yeah, I fight. Right? But there's so many similarities between all kinds of sports and all kinds of athletes and what you go through and prepping and doing all that kind of fun stuff. So I'm interested to see what kind of those things are, and then we'll talk some personal shit and we'll see how it goes. I'm not politically correct at all, so I speak my mind. I say what I'm going to say.
That works, because me too.
Good, that works.
It's like word vomit sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm like,
1,000%.
You're like, fuck.
I'm like, people don't, you're not supposed to say that? They're like, no. I'm like, oh, okay.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that memo. My bad.
Yeah, I get. There's a sign when you walk in. There's in front that actually says MMT Fitness is not politically correct. You know, we say we want to say if you don't like it, get out. I say Merry Christmas. I say God bless you. If you don't like those things, kick it. So.
Can I share a funny story about her?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. There's many with us.
I know,
of
that's
course.
why I don't know what to say.
But this is why I love Amanda, too. If you didn't know, I'm the photographer, blah, blah, blah. Some of you know. I've shot her a million times. That's how this came about.
Yeah.
Here we are. On her story one day, I'll never forget this. She goes, I love how y'all say, you cuss too much. That ain't ladylike. How about this? You can suck my dick. How ladylike is that?
I saw that.
How many times have you watched that? Because it's like word for
over
word.
and over again.
remember that
I
exact
died
post. I was
laughing
like-
at that so hard. I'm like, yeah, you fucking tell him. That
Yeah,
was so
man.
funny.
It's crazy
that's
how
Amanda.
much people like really try to put like their own beliefs and stigmas on you and socials. Like it's crazy.
What's more crazy is that they do that and pretend that they've never done anything wrong. Like they're fucking
Right now they're the victim because
Yeah.
you pop off some way. You're like
You know what I mean?
upset about it. You're like, really?
But like you've never cussed before. You've never said some dumb shit. Like really? You're perfect.
Yeah.
God, I forgot. You're right. The fuck?
Whoa, sorry, my bad,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway.
crazy. You really spoke it right, word for word,
Oh, yeah.
verbatim.
That
That's
is like
insane.
one of the best Mandeezy stories of my life. How about this? You can suck my dick.
How ladylike is that?
I love it.
Well, you are a. So when I say stuff, I'm completely novice to this shit, and I have no idea what I'm talking about.
That's right.
You're not a bikini model. You're a what?
IFBB Pro.
IFBB Pro.
Yeah, Wellness Pro.
Wellness Pro.
Yeah.
So there's different. Walk us through because you have like bikini and fitness and
Yeah.
what is.
So the way the ladder kind of goes, it's like smallest to biggest in a sense. So bikini would be like the smallest division. They're very petite. It goes for, I guess you could call it like an X frame. So if you would look at what a capital X would look like, that's how you want to try to like exemplify your body. So they have like very balanced shoulders to glute ratio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And their waist is very small. And again, they're very petite. And then wellness is new. So that would be the category above that. And we are very leg dominant. Like most of our mass is in our lower half. So it would be more of an A-frame, you know, very small up top, wide bottom. That's kind of our division. And then it goes figure. That one's more of a total body. You know, they want to see more upper body development, nice connection in the lats. They don't necessarily want to see a lot of mass in the lower body. They want to see a good balance between the two. Definitely a lot harder. So you're going to see more striation in the muscle.
Got it.
But not necessarily feathering. Feathering would be like where the muscle kind of goes across and you see the straps going across
Yeah,
it
yeah.
rather than like the whole strip, you know. So above that would be figure, or sorry, not figure, physique. And then we have women's bodybuilding, and then we have women's fitness. And I believe that's it. And fitness is the one where they do like backflips and splits and like cool acrobatic shit.
Yeah.
Super lean. I'm like, man, my hat goes off to you because I don't know how they could do a routine like that, super depleted and just dry as shit,
Yeah.
and just be flipping all over and smile. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even like smiling when I practice posing, and I have to smile on stage. Like, man,
Dude, that's crazy. So when you prep for a show, how many weeks out do you do?
my first show that I ever did, I was 12 weeks out when I started. Mostly because I was like the cheapest package with my coach.
Got it.
So I didn't really know much about it. I was like, yeah, I could do it 3 months. That's pretty solid. But getting to know my body a lot more, you never really, as a pro, you never really stop prepping. You
Right.
know, like in the off season, it has to be very structured if you want to be a competitive athlete when you're in season, you know?
Yeah.
So in a sense, I would say like a 16-week prep, which would be about 4 months. That's when we would start like actually increasing my cardio and getting more into that like metabolism stimulation phase. Not necessarily cutting, but just getting the body ready for that.
Yeah. That's where fighting has a lot of similarities. Like, you don't ever stop. You can't get that out of shape. If you do,
Yeah.
it's going to be death.
The
You
off
kinda
season is where you
stay-
make the most gains. You know, that's where you build a foundation.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, when they get into competing, they just like, oh, this is fun. I could do this. And then they're like, oh, shit. This is actually really demanding. This is actually really restricting. This is a lot. I'm really tired, you know. Actually, I had a client just quit today for literally the same reason. She's like, I didn't understand or realize how demanding this sport would be.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it changes your whole life. Like, what'd you expect?
It's a lifestyle.
No, 100%. It's not a hobby. You don't just like pick it up and just like, hey, I want to bodybuild, or hey, I think I'm going to fight today. You know, you're going to go in the ring, get your ass kicked.
But literally, I've had
Literally get your ass handed to you.
millions of people, like, over the course of 20-some years of doing this. Hey, Frank, I want to be a fighter.
Here we go.
And I feel bad when I say that, because I know that a lot of my students and a lot of the kids and members here are going to watch this. When you hear me say that, it's not from a bad place. It's from almost a, I don't know how the word to describe, but it's not insulting, but it is, right? You think you can just walk off the street with no experience and do what I did,
Right.
right? I'm retired right now, but when I was doing it, I sacrificed a lot. Brain cells,
100%.
I've took years off my life to do what I've done and to learn and be as good as I am, right?
Right.
So for someone to come in and think it's as easy as just, hey, I want to do this, it's not, right? Fighting's a very lonely sport. You know what I mean? When those last 3 steps you take to get in the ring, there's no more coaches, there's no more friends, there's no more training partners. It's you and the dude that wants to kill you, right? So sometimes when I hear people say that, it's like almost like, dude, you have no idea what you're in for. Like, you've never done this or taken a fucking step to do it. You don't have any idea how bad this is going to hurt. Like, you're not going to walk. You're going to stutter. Like, I don't stutter. I've had such hard days of sparring where I get hit so hard where we'll leave. We're like, you want to go get food? And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Why am I stuttering? Because you're literally fucking just beating each
Losing
other.
brain
you know
cells.
what I mean? So, majority of the people I've had to learn, you know, because I started training them like I was trained, I used to beat the piss out of them. And all of a sudden, my class of 15, 20 people turned into like 2. I'm like, where'd everybody go? You know what I mean? So you have to learn how to, okay, this is a business. I need to learn to figure out which ones are really bad about it and the ones who are kind of like, okay, I want to learn a little bit and kind of want to get in shape and, you know, have some confidence. And then the ones who are just here because they need to say that they did it. Right? And that took me a little while to learn as a coach.
Definitely something that is very true as far as bodybuilding too, because you do have those people who are just here for the experience. Like, not everybody wants to compete and go pro, and not everybody wants to go to Olympia and just like take this to the extreme. And there are so many different avenues that you can travel where it is extremely extreme.
Yeah.
Like life risking extreme.
Yeah.
And people don't necessarily understand that.
How low does your body fat get when you're about to go?
To be honest, I think the lowest I've gotten is like 5-6%, and it's not enough at the level that I'm at.
And
My-
5-6% for most of you guys, especially as a female, is ridiculously low.
Right, and the energy levels, like the brain function, the emotions that you don't have. Like I remember getting ready for my pro card, and I'm in the kitchen, and I just got home from work, and I still work like 12 hours a day on top of all my prep stuff. I got home around like 9:30, 10 o'clock from my last cardio session, and I'm literally leaning on the counter, like staring into the counter just completely like blank because I only had enough energy to like wait for my food. And my dad's talking to me and he's like trying to like, oh, how's your day? You know, just normal people conversations. And I'm just like, I don't have the energy to even listen to what you have to say. And your body fat is literally that low to where things simple as listening, you start to turn off and stop doing
Yeah.
to preserve energy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But even at the competitive level, like 5-6%, it reflects differently on my physique. So in order to get to where I need to be, I have to drop even lower. It's probably around like 3.
Jesus.
Yeah, and so it gets pretty intense, really. And it's like, why do I do this? But then you turn around and you're like, this is so much fun. I don't know how this is fun.
Bro, it's... I look at people who skydive, I'm like, you're idiots. Why
I
do you
would
jump
never.
out of a perfectly good plane?
I would never.
You're stupid. And then people are like, Frank, why do you get in a ring, get hit in the mouth? Like, you're dumb. And I'm like,
You know, I
to
have a
me, it's
chance.
physical chess. It's the game. I love all of it, right?
Yeah.
I hate the competition piece prior to the fight. I hate the anxiety. I'm not good with that part, right? But I still thrive off it.
Right.
But I also hate all the fuckery before it. The athletic commission, the weigh-ins, the other gyms who act tough. Dude, we're all going to get on stage and display what we're about to do. You don't have to act like that. I'm like the nicest guy. I walk up to my opponent, say, hey, nice to meet you, I'm Frank. Like, I don't have any animosity to you, right? Unless you try to do something illegal or harm me in a way that's not
Which
like
is
the
actually pretty
sport.
funny because you're like, hey, how's it going? I'm going to whoop your ass. Like,
for
super
me-
casual.
Because it's fighting. I'm such a, what do you say? I'm a very soft person, right? I'm shy. I'm an introvert. I cry at movies. I'm that guy. But to be that person and be accepted socially, being a lion and the alpha and this big dominant person allows me to be that. Allows me to be normal. Because if I'm just that pussy, that's what you will be as a man, right? You're gonna be a
Right.
little bitch. No one's gonna take you seriously. No chick's ever gonna want you. You're just gonna be a little bitch. So, if you can balance it, right? You learn that okay,
I got a cramp trying to cross my leg.
that's how lean she is. You see?
Jesus.
That was awesome.
I was like, oh, shit.
Pause.
Prior to Kavika having a nervous coughing breakdown,
We're back.
and Mandeezy cramped because her
I
body-
know, that was
Because
rough.
this.
I know, that's so embarrassing. Rough, man.
By the way, shoe check.
You want none of this mess, bro? You're about to get smoked, son. Damn.
both at the same time. Just-
Twins.
Okay, so one of the things we were discussing while Kavika was having a heart attack
Yeah.
was about different types of people who prep and how they prep and some of the things they do. Because when you do prep, like unfortunately for me, I'm a super heavyweight when I fought, so I didn't have to do anything. I could walk to stage with a donut and weigh in, like I give a fuck. But my friends though were like sucked up, dry. Like, they cut. One of my buddies cut, I think, I don't know if it was like 13 or 14 pounds in a day.
Oh, shit.
Like just his cramping going up to the fucking scale. I have like 8 bottles of water, Gatorade, Pedialyte, and I'm literally standing on the side just waiting for him to get off. And as soon as he does, he starts drinking. We go up to the room, hooks up to an IV. Like it's bad. And by the time he weighs in the next day, he'll be huge, right? But prior to some of these things, like some of the fighters, because they cut so much weight, they can't eat. You're suffering. You'd see everyone else eat. So some people, they don't want to hear about it. They don't want to see what you're eating. They don't want to know you're eating. They hate you for it. And then others, like Logan, he wants to smell everything you're
Yeah.
eating, stare at what you're eating. He'll save posts of what people are cooking so he can cook it. He'll make and buy a bunch of food and like store it so that when the fight's over, he
That
can
sounds
eat.
like you guys.
Sounds like me so much. My Explore page, like the week before, even like a couple weeks before, it's like leading up to show. It's just more and more food posts.
Yeah.
Mostly pastries, you know.
that's him.
Pastas.
1000%. Oh, pasta.
But no, I'm very much like Logan. My sister had her 30th birthday in Palm Springs, and I want to miss out, so I took all my prep food and I went with everybody to the Airbnb, and I was like their DD, you know, when they're going out to the bars and stuff. And it's cool because I smoke weed, so I'd just be chilling and everyone's drinking and doing their thing. But we stopped at this pizza place, and everyone's buying calzones, freaking cheese bread. There's fries, wings, regular pizza. It's just like a galore. And I'm sitting there like staring at all this food. And this chick that came with her, she's like, look away, stop doing it. Like, she kept worrying for me, and it was kind of getting annoying because I'm just like, I'm fine, dude. Like, I'm a pro. If being around food that I can't have is enough to break me, I don't belong on the stage with the other pros.
Right.
Let's just be real. But my ass is sitting there like telling my sister, put some ranch on it, extra marinara, come on,
Let me
dip
smell
it in
it.
there. And I'm like watching her, and I was like, yes, that's it, yes.
That's how I would do it.
That's it, right there. No, but I'm just...
what nationality are you?
I'm Creole, Mexican, and Sicilian.
I knew it. I had the Sicilian right.
Yeah.
I didn't know the other
Specific.
part.
You
Yeah.
know.
Calzones.
Calzones.
Latin too. Cool.
Yeah.
So, question. When do you, because you said they were going to bars and you were the DD, do you not drink because of your job, or you not drink just because?
I'm just not really a drinker in general. I never really was as a kid either. Like, you know, everybody kind of gets into their like teenage years and they're like going to parties in high school. My dad was super strict because I was training for a D1 scholarship. So I never necessarily like had that freedom. And then when I got to college, I had the experience in drinking, and I had a really, really bad experiences, like traumatizing experiences. So I just really decided that it wasn't my thing. You know, it doesn't really taste good. It doesn't really make me feel that great either. So I'm like, why even do it just because everyone else is?
I'm 41 and 41 years sober, so I've never done anything. No drugs, no drinking, nothing ever. Like, ever.
Yeah, well, I believe in experimenting.
I took a sip of a drink. I wanted to taste it, and I was like, yo, bro, this shit tastes like ass. Why you drink this?
You know, I had to take shots before my show, and I was like, people do this for fun?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. That was literally my reaction.
So gross.
I took a puff of weed once out from my buddies, their Apple thing, and I thought I was like Cheech and Chong. I was like, I can do this. And I blew right back in and blew their shit everywhere. And they were like, bro, I was like, ah! I was choking.
Not doing this again.
Why do you guys do this? Like, I don't get it. Like, I can't breathe. Why would you ever do this?
And you call this fun?
Yeah. So I never did it.
Yeah. No,
D1, what did you do?
I played softball.
I just did a softball.
Yes, I went to University of Nevada, Reno. I had a full ride. I signed my junior year, which was actually pretty surprising because I had already had 2 reconstructive knee surgeries by then. So finding a university that was going to take me full-time, full ride scholarship was like unheard of with having those type of injuries and that severity. But I did it. I got a full ride, played all 4 years, got my degree, everything I was supposed to do, everything I wanted to do in a sense.
Damn. And after, you didn't want to pursue it anymore?
I couldn't. By the time I graduated college, I had no ability to play a full game.
Oh, shit.
My knees were so fucked up. Like, so bad.
Your legs are so fucking thick. How do you lift now?
Now I fucking lift like a monster.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, my left knee is trash, right?
Yeah.
It hasn't busted on me, thank God. But it's, when you walk upstairs, you can hear it, like, and it's just sore and hurts. Like,
so I can hear my knees grind when I just walk.
Yeah. So
it's just regular.
Like lunges and shit like that. Like,
I don't do those.
Kill me. And
Never.
I'm like, I don't do those. So
nope.
What?
I learned.
What do you do?
Well, I started from scratch. You know, I did the bike. I ride the bike a lot still. I stayed with a lot of machine work, a lot of banded exercises, things I knew I could do that didn't cause me pain. And banded leg work is actually really, really effective. It forces other muscles to engage, like your hips, which are like stabilizers and things like that. So I really focused on building my hamstrings and my glutes, which are focused muscle groups that support the knee. And having those muscles more developed pulled pressure from my knee and allowed my other muscles, like my quads and things like that, to develop and recover. And it took a really fucking long time.
So that's good. Biking is good. That's good to know.
Yeah. It's low impact on the joint, so it's going to be more natural range of motion, more natural flow. And you don't have the impact or the weight of your own body on the joint per se. So it's a lot easier to get the mobility and kind of stretch out the muscles in the knee which is kind of fun, but not really fun. But yeah, so when I graduated college, I couldn't do shit. I couldn't walk in the sand at the beach. I couldn't wear high heels. I couldn't squat below parallel. Lunging was not even an option. I was so like handicapped. My knees. I remember getting my knees X-rayed at the university's hospital that we had like on campus, our like health center.
Yeah.
And then they'd like hand you the CD, and I'd walk my own CD across the hall and hand it to the doctor lady over there, and they'd go over my. They have the radiologist look over my X-rays, and they came in and they're like, "Are you sure these are yours?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I'm pretty sure she didn't like mix it up. I literally just took those." And they're like, "You have the joints of an 80-year-old woman," and I was like 19. And so the surgeries, I found out in college that the surgeries I had when I was in 8th grade and freshman year in high school were so severe, I should have never played sports again. The amount of damage that playing sports requires or applies to your body, my body had already experienced that like tenfold. They had reattached and cut pretty much every ligament and tendon. And he's like reading the notes and he goes, "I don't even understand what the surgeon did. Like, I don't even know what he did."
Yeah.
And so when I had my surgeries in college, because I had 2 more in college, he was looking at it and he's like, "Yeah, your shit was fucked up." Like,
Damn.
I had broken off so much cartilage. I had like chunks of cartilage being lodged in my knee joint, and I had to walk off the field my sophomore year because I couldn't bend or straighten my leg. It just like big ass rock just like got stuck. So that stimulated like the surgery that I had, and then it happened again. So I had another surgery, and he was basically just like, "This is the surgery you can have that's gonna get you back to the field, and this is the surgery that you need. And this one is 7 months of recovery in a brace. This one is 10 months." I was like, "Fuck that! I'm doing the 7 months. Like, I want to get back to the field. I want to play." Like, it was probably the worst decision I could have ever made, because now I feel the repercussions of my ignorance.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't really think about my future when I had these surgeries. And my mom, when I was young, she was like the only person who was focused on my future, and she was the only one who really was concerned and didn't want me doing things like that, like having that severe of a surgery so young. But I was like, I want to play. I want to go to college for free. Like, that's a dream my dad put in my head. And I'm just like, we're going all the way. And I got to college and I was like, dude, this really sucks. Like, I had to do so much just to be on the same level as everybody else, you know, health-wise, and just to prove that I was enough to be on the field. Because once you have those surgeries, like the doubt in the coach's mind kind of starts to creep in on your abilities to perform, you know, and that was never a factor before because I had shown them that like it wasn't a factor.
Yeah.
But now seeing it firsthand, it's a little different. It's like how they tell husbands never to watch their wives give birth because it traumatizes them type shit.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like, it's the same idea. Once you've seen it, you're just like, I can't go back to like thinking of it in another way.
Yeah.
So it was same stuff that I still have to deal with now, having to work 20 times harder than everybody else. Everybody else is healthy. It's like I got both hands behind my back and I'm going into a ring to fight.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
Yeah, it sucks. But I chose this life, you know?
Yeah.
And
And you made something of it.
yeah, and honestly, I was supposed to have my first knee replacement by the age of 25, and I'll be 28 this year. And I feel so healthy. I feel so strong. I do the little things that I took for granted. Like, I stretch, I foam roll, I have lacrosse balls, I have softballs, I go deep tissue massages once a week, I ice bath, like
The recovery shit is
I do
huge.
everything that I'm supposed to do. I even go to the float spas, like these big ass like tubs of Epsom salt to help with my inflammation and circulation, and I even bought a TENS unit to like put electrodes on my quads for stimulation. I would sit there on the couch and my legs are like, choom, 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 you know, I'm just watching TV and they're like, and I'm getting a workout in because it's like I did everything and I still do everything.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm able to do the stuff that I can now.
Yeah.
It's because I did the little things, and I've had so many setbacks. Like, shit, I had cancer 2 years ago.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had lymphoma.
I don't know what that is.
So it's like a cancer of the blood, like of your lymph
Shit.
nodes.
Yeah.
So I got mono from a boyfriend that I was dating at the time, and it started. It like never my lymph nodes swelled so huge. I looked like a frog, and they were like big ass balls, like golf balls in my neck. And even after I had like gotten through the sickness and whatever, the lymph nodes were still huge. And then it started to like grow on the other side more so, and then it started transitioning into the second lymph node because you got 3 on each side. And then it hit the third one, and I was like, yo, this is insane. They tested it, did a biopsy. They're like, it's cancerous, so we're gonna have to get you into treatment and get you started and going through like get you on a plan and all that other stuff, like treatment wise. And it took me like a week to kind of like process the fact that it was real.
Yeah.
You know, because you feel fine, and it's just a big ass ball. Like, I'm like, what's the deal? Just take it out. We'll be good. They're like, that's not how it works. And because it's in your neck, that's an extremely dangerous surgery.
Sure.
That we would like to not have if we could help it. So these are your options. If it progresses, then surgery is our only option. And I went through like a holistic time period. Like, I stopped eating red meat. I was eating like cancer fighting foods. I was juicing daily. I was doing whatever I could to heal myself in a natural way because I didn't want to have this type of setback that I did with my knee surgeries.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to like, oh yeah, let's go do fucking radiation treatment, and next thing you know, my hair's falling out and my thyroid's jacked and I got all these other issues because, I just had a bunch of shit pumped in my face. So yeah, that was like 3-4 months of some crazy shit. I lost a lot of weight. I lost like 35 pounds.
Damn.
I couldn't gain weight. It took me over 1.5 years to get back to the weight I was when I first got sick.
I didn't know all that, actually.
Yeah, it was really bad. My parents, I was in a super abusive relationship at the same time. And my parents were like accusing me of being on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like saying how my boyfriend at the time was my drug dealer. And they were just so convinced because I was just extremely pale and just, I was like 160. And I started high school at 160.
What's your walking weight now?
185, 188 actually this morning.
What's your competition weight?
177. That's the lightest I've been this year. Yeah.
Gosh, I'm gonna get there. I swear.
So I'm just heavy. So when my body fat goes up, like my off season, I was like I hit 200 pounds in my off season, and that shit made me nervous. I was like, oh fuck.
Is this gonna come off?
I know. I was like, we better go down, damn it. But yeah, it was a rough. The amount of setbacks I've had and had to like restart and rebuild over and over and over. It's like frustrating.
Sure, but you do it.
Yeah, because it's like I don't know what else to do. Why would I sit there at the bottom, sad that I'm at the bottom? I'm gonna go do what I can to put my ass back at the top.
See, that's the best stuff for people to learn. Y'all hear that? Fuck. Stop being a victim, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Everything's this happened to me and this is why I'm here and this happened to me and this is why I'm here, and they're so content with doing nothing and hoping somebody comes and picks them up out of their shit.
Yeah. I was in those phases, like you have to go through those.
1000%, but it's people that get stuck there.
Yeah.
And choose to stay there. I understand that
definitely.
we'll recognize we're there, and sometimes it takes us a while to figure out how to get out of it.
Right, 100%.
Right? Like when I retired, it was a really hard thing for me because it was just due to injuries and my body didn't want to do what I wanted it to do anymore. So that was a really hard pill to swallow because in my head it was like, I can do one more.
Yeah.
I'll do one more. I'll show these kids what a fucking animal looks like. I got one more in me. And just wasn't there.
Well, like you said, the hardest thing to tell a fighter is when to quit. Like what you've told me.
1000%. Like I still will never tell someone that. Like it's not my place. It's no one's place to tell a fighter that. It's just you don't do that. You know what I mean? And most people never understand it because they don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
To tell someone to quit their life, their dream. It is what it is, you know.
Definitely.
So that was a very hard pill to swallow. So I was really bad for quite a while, you know, like depressed, gained a fuck ton of weight, didn't do anything, and I own a gym, like literally nothing. I went from like competing, I was like 280 to 300 at any given time, up to almost 380. Fuck, you know what I mean? I was just bad. I was just, you know what I mean? I had a fucking gun in my mouth. I was like, I'm out of here. I'm done. And then you figure it out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You figure shit out.
Someday,
And
one day, it really just like
It just
it really
clicks.
clicks.
It literally, it was
does.
that. It was that.
It's
click.
just like you just like fuck this. I'm tired of this. Like this isn't what I want my life to be.
What was your day? Do you remember it? I remember mine.
I feel like I've had so many. Unfortunately,
Well,
like
from
I
your
feel like
let's start from the last experience.
the last experience. Yeah, and honestly, it was like a time frame. Like I listened to like the same song every morning for months, and that song like very motivated me, and it just like got me into this like fighting mode, you know, like instead of like pitying myself and being in that victim mindset, it was like, nah, fuck this. I'm gonna take back. It's called Church.
Called what?
Church. CHUU. RCH.
I thought it was gonna be some shit I
Slim
knew.
Thug.
Sure, I was like,
Wait.
Nah.
yo, definitely.
And they have Joel. He has a Joel Osteen like quoted like in the song, like captions of his speeches that he gives, and having like that pastor connection and like that real life words. Like he's literally like, I don't have any pity or like feelings towards you. I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is. Like you can't flock with people who you can't expect to soar with eagles and hang out with chickens.
There you go.
Facts.
You know? So you're gonna be like the people you continue to associate with. And there's things like in the song where it was like certain parts of the song kind of matched what I was going through in like the healing phase.
Yeah.
And it was like each part I was like, yeah, I really feel this. Like, you know, like we were talking about earlier about parents not supporting what you do, you know. My parents didn't always support what I did.
Yeah.
You know, my mom wanted me to quit sports because my knees were bad, right? My mom wanted me to quit bodybuilding. She didn't like this. She doesn't like me being fatigued and sad and tired and just like seeing me fall apart in a sense.
But that's all for the greater cause, right?
Yeah,
for
like
the-
you gotta fall apart to build up.
Right. Yeah. Mine was Rocky 4.
Rocky
Was it?
4?
I was
The
literally
movie or what?
the scene where he was arguing with Adrian and she told him he can't win. Da da da. Da.
Yep.
He's like, "This is what you married. It's what I am." And I'm literally watching this, laughing. I'm laughing hysterically by myself in my room in my fucking boxers, a t-shirt, sitting in my chair watching this, laughing and crying at the same time. Like, you fucking bitch! God damn it, Frank, you pussy!
Get
What are
up.
you doing? Get the fuck get your shit together.
Yeah.
And I remember I started training and I popped my calf. I think like 2 weeks in to training again. I was training by myself at 5, so no one could see me suffer and struggle and breathe heavy. And as soon as I threw a switch knee, or I think it was a knee or a kick, I just felt my calf go
And you
snap.
came back.
And I was like,
Yep.
fuck, dude, really? And I just smiled, and I remember resting my head on the bag, the heavy bag, and I was like, welcome back, motherfucker.
Yep.
God damn it.
Like he
Right.
thought this was gonna be easy. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
people, you know,
Like,
I want to
just
fight.
get- yeah, no. Like, fuck,
Like the universe was laughing at you, going, "No, not
you
this
remember?
easy."
So all of those things are worth it.
Yep.
Definitely.
Are you saying church? Is that the name of it?
It's church.
Church.
There's 2 U's.
So pretend I'm British and just say church like normal British people.
Church. I
Bless-
don't know how else to say it.
Blessings. Blessings.
But it's got 2 U's in it.
church.
Church.
Bro, that was all. I literally thought I was wearing my iWatch, and I was like, oh.
He's like, I'm gonna search it.
I was like, I'm done.
Oh my god.
That was awesome.
It's a regular ass watch.
Yeah.
You thought.
Oh.
Whoops. Favorite post meal from show? Do you have like a tradition?
No.
I had a tradition leading up to the fight. It was the same thing every fight day, but afterwards was whatever.
Whatever.
I don't care.
So yeah, so leading up, I get well. Really, actually, it depends because I don't. My preps are not always the same. It really just depends on how my body looks. But if I'm able to get a cheat, I love burgers with sweet potato fries. it's got to be sweet potato fries.
From
anywhere, honestly.
matter.
It really doesn't matter. It really
Anywhere.
don't matter, like, because you really don't have the ability to be choosy, especially when, like, a lot of your shows are probably out of state or in, you know, somewhere else. So anywhere that has, like, a solid sweet potato fry,
and it's winning.
yep.
If any of you ever seen a fit chick bite into a cheeseburger after, it's pretty inspiring.
Oh,
It's
man.
like,
Yes,
You see the O face.
oh
It's
yeah,
just-
100% on all of them. That first bite of their cheeseburger, you know the O
Just-
face.
oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're just this,
Yeah.
this, yep.
I was pancakes in the morning, sleep, get up, go get one sushi roll, sleep, get up, go get a 6-inch veggie sandwich, and take that with me to the show or to wherever I was going. And depending on where I fell in the bracket, I would either have that right when I got there or wait, because I fucked up my first ever fight. I was like, okay, rules meeting's at 5 o'clock. Cool, I ate before that so I wouldn't be full, you know. Get there, I was the second to, I didn't get the stage till 11. And didn't
you'd
eat from
eat-
5 to 11.
Yeah.
Before that, because the rules that was so before that I didn't eat, you know. And I'm scared to death. I'm gonna die. I'm by myself. I don't have a coach. I'm like, I don't know why the fuck I signed up for this shit. I'm such a pussy. Why am I here? Oh my god, I'm gonna throw up. You know what I mean? I was making excuses the whole way there. I was like, I can trip and fall. Just say my grandma called. This is literally as they call my name. I'm walking down the aisle, and people are like, yeah, and I'm just like, oh my god, why am I here? I got in the ring and I'm staring at him. Just fake a heart attack. Fuck it. Just grab your chest and just
Fall down.
like, this is literally right before the bell. Then the bell rings. We touch gloves. He does a Superman punch, lands it perfect, and I was like, "What? That was you at 100%."
Oh, okay, I got this.
I didn't feel shit, and
Yeah.
everything just went back to normal. Like
Yep.
it just, everything felt like another day. Just okay, you're good. All that, everything just went away. You know. And it was awesome.
How you describe it is exactly how you tell me how, like when you make me listen to Mike Tyson talk
Yeah.
about himself.
Yeah.
I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death. But once Mike Tyson hits the ring, I'm a god.
Yeah.
That's
and you're
exactly
back to,
how I feel.
And you're back to zero. Once
But
you're
see, but
once you're to the stage.
For
Yeah.
me, it's the ring is our stage, right?
Yeah.
So those last 3 steps, it's really fucking scary because the guy who you depend on the most, your coach,
Leaves you.
you say goodbye, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, you don't want to come? You know what I mean? So now you get in there and you're staring at this guy who wants to fucking kill you. So all that shit is still there. It's not gone yet. It's not till the moment we touch.
Yeah.
The second our gloves touch, even if it's a touch of fists or we throw the first jab, whatever it is, that first movement, it's like, because for me, I don't know if you have do you have a numb? Like I talked to all the fighters about it, like where you go numb.
Where you go numb.
Due to like, like anxiety.
Kind
Mine
of.
is my elbows. Like I feel like I could punch as hard as I want, it would just be like a dead fish. Like, but as soon as we touch, it's like your energy
Feeling
level
comes
comes back. Like you're fine. It's just a feeling, right? And a lot of fight, like Kelvin, I'm putting you on blast, bro. But KG, I asked him, and he says it's my knees. He's like, so when you see me
Yep.
jumping in the octagon
Trying to
before
get
the
his
fight,
legs
he's like,
back.
that's me trying to fucking feel my legs. It's like that's not. You know what I mean?
He's like, come on, let's go.
Let's wake these up.
Yeah, and the second you touch, it's boom, you're fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, do you have a spot? Do you guys? Does that happen to you?
Honestly, I don't necessarily feel like I have like a weak spot or a numb spot, but I have like these like fears of things going wrong, you know, like certain parts of my pose or my routine where I'll like do a turn and I land and I like roll an ankle and fall off the stage, or like I'm like so worried I'm gonna like trip and eat shit, because you see people kind of do stuff
Yeah.
like that and you're just like, fuck, that's gonna be me. Like I practice every single day, I give it my all, and still like that fear of failure like creeps in.
Yeah.
And but it's like the same thing once you guys touch gloves. For me, it's like that one step,
Once the music starts.
that first step on stage, because the music's already going. It's
Oh,
like
got it.
it's blaring. They're trying to create this production, you know, make it feel like you're watching some type of motivational video on YouTube, right? They have like that vibe set up, but it's that first step. They call your name, and that first step where you are like visible, you know, because like they can kind of see you based on how the stage is set up.
Right.
They might be able to see you kind of off to the side, but that one step where you're like, this is the stage. It's like a switch goes off in my head, and I become everything that I ever wanted to be, and everything that I know that I am. And it's like it's the unicorn brand,
There you go.
know.
Yeah.
I become that. It's like an alter ego, I guess you could say. You know,
This is 100% me.
and you kind of like a lot of girls will talk about how they kind of like zone out. You know, and they just like go
Yeah.
blank, and they're like, I don't even know what the fuck I just did. You know, they come off stage and like, what was that?
Yeah, yeah.
And it kind of happens a little bit like that, but it's just like there's something about it that you know this is where I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I feel like I take a lot of time leading up to that moment where, like, you know, like I spend time praying and just kind of being one with myself and trying to remove myself from the excitement of the show. It's like that one step, that final moment, it feels like you're fulfilling a purpose in a sense. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, everything feels like no matter what could go wrong, this is all right.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
I think that's the part for most, I mean, at least for a fighter, it's the most rewarding piece.
yeah,
Is the fight itself. The lead
Yeah.
up, all that stuff is dope. I enjoy the training, but the fight itself, that's
yeah,
the fun part. Right?
Definitely.
People don't understand it. The fuck sparring and shit, that's the worst part. Right? Like all the training and shit up to it, that shit sucks. People think the fight sucks because that's what they see. It's all the behind the scenes shit. Like, you know what I mean? There's gauntlets and shit we put ourselves through.
Yeah.
Like, we are absolutely dying in
they
preparation
have no
for
idea.
that. That's the fun stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there's so many fighters who just want to do the fun stuff, who don't
Right.
do the hard stuff.
Still.
And that's how you watch them fail.
Yes, 100%.
You're like, oh, you didn't do the hard stuff, right?
Yeah,
It's not gonna be any fun if you don't do the hard stuff, though.
100%.
Right? It's not worth it anymore.
I was I spent a lot of my last prep watching like motivational videos and
Yeah.
people with like Eric Thomas and like David Goggins and things like that. You kind of got
Eric
me on
Thomas.
it from that video that you sent me. It kind of
Yeah.
like splurred, and it's actually that video itself where he talks about the hunt,
Yeah.
That's my
and he's
favorite video.
like the lion. His desire isn't the kill.
Right.
It's the hunt itself. It's what he does while hunting the gazelle that thrills him and excites him. Like that's it drives his purpose.
Yeah.
And then the kill itself, that show day or that fight day, you know, that's where you're just like, all of this was worth it.
Mm-hmm.
All of this comes together. That like fluidity
Yeah.
of putting all these things that you worked so hard piecing it all together. That connection period is like,
Yeah.
it's like dessert.
Yeah. So, the last couple shows, because since you've been done photo shoots at the house and at the gym and stuff like that, right? I follow your social media, so I've seen the shows, and I'm not smart enough and all that stuff, so I don't know everything, and maybe I'm biased. But like the last couple shows I've seen, I'm watching, I'm going, how the fuck are you not winning first place? I don't get it. Is it political? Is it because you have tattoos? Is it?
Well, there's actually a lot of girls. I worry sometimes. I'm like, fuck, did blasting out my back, was that like a bad idea? You know, but there's actually a lot of girls who have competed at Olympia, who do have like back tattoos and like just tattoos in general. So, being tatted isn't necessarily an issue as long as it doesn't hide where you need to show.
Yeah.
You know, so my division doesn't really get judged on our back per se, so it's not necessarily an issue. But like I said, my leanness, my conditioning, it only shows in like the waist up. So even though I'm getting to like 5% body fat, where my division matters most, which is in the legs, my body fat doesn't reflect that lowness in my legs.
Got it.
So even though I have the size, I have the shape, I murder like everybody when I'm on stage with every angle, I don't have the conditioning that I need to place high. And unfortunately, because I'm so much bigger than everybody else, that's the difference for me between first place and last place. Is that softness that I have in my legs.
It's kind of like Big Ramy.
Yeah.
Because that
Yeah.
motherfucker's massive. And I watched
Yeah.
him come out the first couple years. I'm like, yo, when this guy gets his conditioning, he's going to fucking kill people.
And then the one year he won, that year his conditioning was nasty, which is why he won it. But he's just always so big in the legs.
Yeah.
Like us on the outside, we're like, how can he even get smaller? But he can't. Like it's
Yeah.
just
It's it's crazy. So once we figure out what the right, I guess, chemical balance, you could say, like what's the right recipe.
Hmm.
That'll kind of help me. Once I figure out how to get my conditioning in my legs to reflect,
Hmm.
it's game over. I have the size, I
Game
have the
over, that's
muscle.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
I walk in and people are like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
Um,
See, because that's me on the outside. I look, I'm like, what? I asked him as soon as he came home, because he went to the show not long ago.
yeah.
I was like, how'd you do? And he's just like, bro, what? I don't know. She didn't win. I'm like, "Boo, give me the phone." And I'm looking, I'm going, how?
The
How did she not win?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But again, I don't know everybody else.
Yeah, so the thing that they like to say as bodybuilders, backs win shows. So your backside, whether you're male or female division, that's what's going to help or make or break you win the show.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, my backside is so soft in comparison to where it's supposed to be. So I don't have
That's crazy. 'Cause
a lot of
motherfucker's
lines.
backside ain't soft at all.
Right. It's like I don't have like deep lines. My muscle shape isn't very like chiseled in a sense, as chiseled as they want it to be. So when there's other girls or women who step on stage and they have that, but they don't have the size, they win because they have the conditioning, and that's pretty much what bodybuilding is about.
Yeah.
Getting to that conditioning level.
And that doesn't deter you. You're just more. It's more.
I mean, it's kind of like, how many fights did you lose?
One.
You lost one. Did you play any other sport?
Yeah, I played baseball. and
Okay, how many
football,
games
hockey.
did you lose in baseball? Shit ton,
Yeah.
right? So when you played baseball, why didn't you quit after the first loss?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because I enjoyed the process. I enjoyed.
Right, but
so-
like in a sense, when you play that sport, because you're on a team thing, it's like there's another game. It's no
Yeah.
big deal. There's another game.
Yeah.
There's another game. So you don't really get so focused on that loss itself because you always get another one.
Yeah.
And you have to have that kind of mindset with competing, and you don't always get another one. Your body, like you said, for you, will shut down, and like myself, it'll start to shut down and do the opposite of what you want it to do.
Yeah.
So you don't always get another one, but you have to have that mindset of doing it again and just coming back better.
Yeah.
Losing sucks, but that's not the focus. That's not why I love what I do.
Right. Right.
And that's what, that's the show day that people get lost in, and they don't understand the process and everything that leads up to it, the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that I'm like very addicted to and very obsessed with, because it's molded the person that I am. The daily challenges that you have to face, and every single day you wake up, you're like, fuck. All right, let's get it. Let's see what I'm made of today. I'm tired. It took me 20 minutes just to get out of bed,
Yeah.
But we're going to see what we're made of today.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you shock yourself every day. You shock yourself like, shit, I didn't think I could do that. And we did it. And then 6 months down the line, you're like, shit, I didn't think I was going to do this. And we did it. And it just keeps going. You just got to stay in that same mindset of you have to continue to grow. It's like trying to climb a mountaintop. When you get to the top of the mountain, what are you going to do? Are you going to miss a step and slide all the way back down? Or are you going to do what is asked of you and required to make sure that you stay at the top?
Yeah.
Or, better yet, are you going to go find another mountain to climb? You know what I'm saying? Like, I conquered this one, now I'm going to go get the next one.
Right.
Right? Instead of just staying there and living in that success for that one thing, let's go and accomplish something better and something bigger.
Yeah.
And that's what I've had to take my mindset into doing. I'm trying to teach myself to do that, to never get so focused, because I played softball, and that sport is based on failure. For 300 batting average, that's super successful. That's like Hall of Fame shit,
Yeah.
But if you take the actual like mathematics behind it, a 300 batting average is 3 out of 10. 3 successful attempts out of 10. You failed 7 times.
Yeah.
And you are successful 3, and that's like Hall of Fame. So you just got to make sure that those 3 successful moments fucking count.
Right.
Like they're big moments. Like you got to do the behind the scenes stuff to lead up to those moments, to capitalize and to take advantage of those moments.
Yeah.
But all it takes is those 3. That's it.
Yeah.
So every time I hit these shows, and I've done 5 pro shows at this point, and I've been in the same place every show. So in my head, I'm just like, I'm knocking out all the failures
In the beginning.
in the beginning. I'm just
Yeah.
getting them all out of there.
You're
so I can
knocking
have
out your 7 right now.
right.
But one of the
I hope it
greatest-
doesn't take 7. I hope I can get a win in there one time.
It's only what 5. Your next one.
Next one,
Yep.
you know.
Bro, the one of the greatest kickboxers of our generation, well, Thai boxers, is Buakaw.
Yeah.
And he lost a lot of his first fights, and people gave him a lot of criticism for it. He's never gonna be nothing, blah blah blah, and he's right now probably one of the greatest kickboxers to ever do it. Period. You know
With like what, over 400 wins and like
300 something. It's just
it's
asinine.
It's stupid. His
Asinine.
his record looks like a bank account. Like
Yeah.
it's insane how
Jesus.
many fights he's had.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
And he came in as a backup. He wasn't even the main guy. It was his training partner. It was the main guy who
That's
got
crazy.
injured. They sent him, and he's like, well, just try to put on a good show, represent Thailand well. And then he won the entire tournament, beat everyone
Yep.
from every country.
That's crazy.
And now the greatest of all
So,
time.
walk us through a quick day in the life. So, what time do you wake up?
About like 4:30, 4:45.
Ass crack of Donners over here.
Yeah.
You don't know nothing about that.
I don't.
Oh,
I'm
you
a-
were pointing to us.
Yeah,
Okay,
both of
that
them.
was excluding
Yeah,
yourself.
That was excluding. No, that
Definitely
was.
not
He
him.
said
that
the
was
arrow
not
was
me.
this
No,
way.
no,
That was this way.
No. I'm a
The
3:30
4:30
morning
crowd
guy.
is this way.
Yeah, no, I actually, like, my body wakes me up at 4 a.m. every day.
Yeah.
And my alarm is set to go off at 5. So I'll kind of just, like, lay there for, like, the last 10, 15 minutes because I need the rest. And if I'm not going to sleep, might as well just relax, you know?
Yeah.
But I have to be out of my house by 5:30 so that I can make it to work to start my cardio by 6. I start my first client at 7 a.m. I work till about 12. Then it's my training time for myself. And then my next block of clients starts 4 to 7, so I finish around 8 o'clock at night. By that time, I still have another cardio session for myself and my drive home. So by the time I actually get home, it's like 9:45, 10 o'clock. Then I eat, shower, get ready for bed. By the time I actually get in bed, it's like 11, and then I do it all over again.
All over again.
It's literally my schedule.
Same shit.
Same.
Same.
You're like, how much sleep do you get? 4? It's like 4 to 5 if I'm lucky.
Before I went full-time personal training and like coaching and stuff, I was working 2 jobs.
Power naps? Do you take power naps?
Oh, power naps in my car. Oh,
Car
yeah.
naps.
Bruh.
So I have this
That-
sheet that I put over like the front seat and the back seat, and I like drape it over, and I like get in underneath,
Yeah.
and no sun. You can't see, people can't look in the
That's
mirror.
awesome.
I'm just like out.
You got a white line across your
I
mouth
have
just
a-
like this.
Yep, Drew.
I literally bought that recliner for that specific reason. And one of my kids saw me. They always make fun of me. And this asshole, they all call me Snorlax because I'm fucking. If you don't talk to me for a
Just
3
close
minute
your eyes
period,
for a second.
I'm literally just like,
That is a
Yeah, what
Pokemon
am-
right there. Snorlax right there.
I'm done. That's a wrap.
Same
Give me
size,
20 minutes, I'll
same
wake up,
muscular.
All right, let's do it again. Like, and
No,
just
so like
keep going.
dead ass. My mom loves telling like embarrassing stories and shit. She used to tell this story all the time about how I was having a full on conversation at breakfast and just passed the fuck out. Just right in my cereal. Face hit the bowl. Didn't wake up. Like nothing. Just
Milk splashed
out.
up.
Talking to you. Boom.
Yeah.
Done. And I'm the same way. I go to parties. I'll sit in between my friends and just
Yeah.
like I don't care. I'll sleep anywhere.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I got to.
They say it's a sign of. They say it's a sign of a clear conscience.
You know,
I'm with it.
I like that idea. I ain't got nothing to hide. So
I'm not the 4:30 start time, but I will also sleep anywhere. So
it's like I can
I
rela-
contribute to
relate.
that.
I love seeing the Tic Tacs.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I've had so many friends, especially the girls that train and stuff like that, who've done competition. They literally, especially the flavored ones.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? I can't eat. What? That's what you're eating? I can have X amount of them. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, you only get like one of those a day.
I was like, bro, I would literally hang myself. I can't. Like,
I eat cucumbers a lot when I like can't eat because it's essentially just vitamins and water.
yeah.
So I just like scoop in hella mustard, mustard and cucumber.
Mustard cucumbers.
Yeah, and
Dude,
I'm
that
just
was
like-
honestly when I lost the most weight. Prior to fighting a buddy of mine, I was like 450, sloppy, just no muscle, just a lard ass. And one of my buddies was a bodybuilder, and he competed. He was pro. He won some shows. He was massive. He was like 240 or 260 around there,
Lean?
with a 32-inch waist.
Jesus.
Like you could grab each jab. He was massive, right? And he's like, he would just talk shit to me. I was like, "Shut up, Frank." He's like, "How you doing?" I was like, "Good, bro. How are you?" He's like, "Better than you." I hate you. He's like, "I'm making a deal, bro. You wash my car once a week. I'll take you to the gym." So he took me to the gym. So I'm like, okay, I gotta figure out. I paid for this. I had a job. He paid for it, and it was Worlds. At that time, Worlds Gym was like, it was none of these like girl gyms that you go to here. No, when I say shit like that,
No, that's cool.
Crunch and Planet Fitness.
Not
yes,
like those.
no, this motherfucking place, bro, was every dude in there was yacked. There's pictures of Cutler,
It's like Gold Gym.
Schwarzenegger, but they're all out of stone,
Yes.
breaking down. They had a thing in the back called "Welcome to the Jungle," where it was just like the big giant place where big ass dudes were. I was the most intimidating. I was like, "What the fuck am I doing here?" He's like, "See that treadmill over there? Just go start walking." Okay. So I walked for, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever I mean. And he just had me start lifting. And I got so into it. At one point, I was 260 no, 280 at 36-inch waist. Right? Like squeezing in 36. Like that shit hurt to put it on.
He's like,
38 is where I was when I first 36. I was like, I got this. And I was contemplating my entire life. I bought books. I was like, yo, bro, I'm going to get into this shit. Like, where do I get myself some juice? How do I do it? What do I do? Where do I go? Do I go to Mexico? Like, let's make this fucking
Let's go to
happen,
Mexico.
bro. I'm going to get blown up. And they wouldn't let me. They just, two of my best friends, like it was him and my other buddy, they were just like, bro, you just shut up. I'm like,
you don't need that.
you just got to get in shape. Because I was in high school. They were dropping me off in high school.
Yeah.
They just wanted me to lose weight.
To be safe for you.
Yeah. And but I really, really, really enjoyed getting strong and seeing the difference. Because getting up off the floor was like impossible. My friends would push me. I get like stuck there.
Yeah.
So to change.
It's just that they would push you. That's so fucked up.
Yeah, be like, you got to get up. They're like, pushing the get up. Like, God damn it, this is hard. Like, fuck. You know what I mean? Now I can lift half a house, and you know what I mean. I really enjoy
like,
strength.
Slide down, kick underneath them.
You know what I mean? But that was crazy because I enjoyed that stuff because it was cool. There's no conflict. Everyone in the gym was like a camaraderie. It was like a family. Everyone saw you, and when they saw you consistent, then you were kind of like welcome. You know what I mean?
For sure.
You're like, hey man, what's up, bud? Get that shit up. Like,
Yep.
yeah, man.
You don't gotta be shredded like them.
Yeah,
it's just you just gotta fucking work.
Yeah,
That's
they
it.
just want to see you get it.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't matter. And it was crazy because I never forget. I walked in and I was benching nothing, like $175, $180, and I'm a big guy, so it's like bitch weight at that size. My boy Dave, who's a massive human, sits down like sleep in his eyes. We're there at ass cracking dawn. It's dark outside. He's wiping sleep out of his eyes. He's like, ugh. Incline press with like three plates, and he's like
300 easy.
Ugh.
This Dave?
Like, no, my boy.
Oh, okay,
my boy
the other
Maddox.
Dave. Yeah.
And I'm like,
this is warm up.
What the fuck?
You're like, that was my max set.
Like,
that was my PR. Fuck, Jesus.
Yeah. Like, what the hell? Like, he's always been that different individual. But what is your favorite part of the day? Cardio, weights?
Fuck cardio. Like,
Straight
if you
from the
enjoy
pro.
doing cardio, you're in the wrong. Like, no.
Because there's so many girls that come here, and the first thing they want to do is take a class and run. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Man, you ain't gonna see me
so
running nowhere.
Fun. Like, that's not fun.
And I get that question a lot. Like, they're like, you do track? And I was like, you think I'm fast? Thank you.
That's so nice of you.
I know. I'm like, that's like the best compliment ever. I'm slow as shit. You ain't gonna see me run nowhere.
Yeah.
No, I don't
see me
know.
run to
So
my
you
car
never,
for
you
a
never
car nap.
experienced runner's high?
Well, I used to run in high school. I really enjoyed running in high school. But after my surgeries in college, like, I can't run. It's just too much on my knees.
I've never experienced runner's high ever a day in my life. Never.
No, I had a lot of issues growing up. I had a lot of traumatic shit. So I really enjoyed running because and I feel like that probably actually gave me some issues later, you know. When shit gets hard, I run from it. I'm seeing the connection there. But no, yeah, like when things get really bad at home, like I really enjoyed running, and it felt like I was escaping and
Yeah,
freeing
free.
myself from that. And that was the high that I got. Not necessarily like running for miles, but I loved like certain routes that I like
Yeah.
would take, and like the scenery and just like the way it felt being out and free and in connection with earth and shit like that.
Yeah.
Very hippie-ish myself. Yeah, I never really experienced that runner's high. Cardio isn't really all that fun. I do enjoy cardio. It makes me feel better when I'm done.
Yeah.
I feel very like, okay, now I can start, like my mind is clear in a sense. And my body hurts a lot, really bad, especially when I'm waking up, because I've just been in such like a still position. Like there's times where I sleep, I didn't fucking move. Like wherever I laid down, that was it.
Yeah.
And like you're just so exhausted. So when I get up, I'm like, oh, like the Tin Man, and I'm like needing oil.
Gotta crack all your joints
No,
first.
seriously, like my head's like, get my shoulder to pop. Like I have so many injuries, it's insane.
All that stuff makes me feel so good because when I get up, all you hear is like,
Right? It's like a
Hey,
robot.
but that morning stretch is like
yeah, that one right there, bro.
With
That
the leg
shake,
to it.
that shake is the shit.
1000% me.
Oh my god, I love that. That is how you start the day.
Yeah, no. So yeah, cardio actually like makes me feel better, but it's not something that I like look forward to do. Like I don't wake up and like, oh yeah, I got 450 calories twice today. Let's do it. I really love legs, so that's why I'm excited that wellness came in to the U.S. as a division for competition, because like that's all I've worked on. Like my legs, my knees were so jacked up. I train legs so often, and my upper body builds quickly. So I hated training upper body because I already had really buff ass shoulders from sports.
Yeah.
So even as a wellness pro right now, I don't train upper body at all, and I'm jacked.
Yeah. And for all the shit that you have to carry with legs.
Flex for a second, like, goddamn.
But no, like my leg days are so fucking heavy at this point that like I literally like I develop muscle from constantly lifting the weights and changing weights all day for my clients, and then holding my heavy ass weights like
Yourself,
that.
yeah.
That's basically all that I need to keep my upper body like that.
Dude, I need to work with you on legs because I ain't got no ass.
Yo, I would
I
fuck
am
you up.
hamstrings.
You thought
She
that
will
you,
I'm
fuck
lower back,
everybody
you
yeah,
up
thought
on
that you
legs.
cry in boxing? Oh,
I've seen your workouts.
I make people cry.
I made,
There's
like my kid's mom, Sai, and Natalie, Taylor, a couple of girls. We'll put them through their leg day, and at the end, I put them on the machines. And if you obviously you haven't seen some of the vlogs, but I'll shout you out. I was like, thanks, Mandeezy, for this one.
Yeah.
And I'll make them do some of the exercise. And dude, by like rep 20, they're dying. I'm like, fucking go! I'll make them hold the last 5 reps. Hold it, 1, 2, 3, down, up, 1, 2,
Yeah.
and they're shaking the. And 2 of them that same day got off and were like, why are we crying? Why do I have tears? They were so upset and frustrated with themselves because they didn't want to quit.
Yo,
And they're so
yeah.
competitive.
Yep.
It was. I like that though.
I'm just like, I tell my clients, I'm like, just let it out. Don't
Yep.
feel like you gotta pretend or be cool, or there's not a certain. I mean, there is, like, there's a certain expectation, but I'm not expecting you to behave any other way other than who you are.
Yeah.
And so if you get to that point and you really gotta cry because it's just like, you go through some traumatic shit, like all of
Yeah.
your childhood traumas is like hitting you in a set, and like you're dealing with, fuck that guy, in the
Yeah.
middle of the set, but if that's what you gotta do to get it done, that's what you gotta do. If you gotta cry, you gotta cry.
If you can make it through her leg days, you're a gangster.
Man, I made some chick throw up twice in the same workout.
Fuck.
She threw up. She wanted to compete in wellness. Came in, I was like, all right, girl, like, there's no warm up. Like, we going full in. Like, let's fucking get it.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, let's do it. She didn't back down. She's a fucking trooper. She
And
came
then,
in. Yep. She went to the bathroom, yacked. She came back. She goes, I just yacked. And I was like, all right, cool. Added more weight.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, we're going to step it up. The last set was too easy for you. And she's like, seriously? I'm like, yeah. You're so much more capable than what you realize.
Yeah.
And just because your body's not up to that point yet with, completely, doesn't mean that you don't push to that level.
Right.
So, if you got to yak again, you got to yak again. Fuck it.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get to where you want to be. And I'm gonna make sure you fucking get there.
Yeah. That's where getting back into shape was hard because I was such a crazy fucking. I can't say specimen because I've always been heavy. But but an anomaly, right? I could do 10 5-minute
I'm gonna
rounds.
pat your back.
Oh my God.
Well, great job.
I could do 10 5-minute rounds for a heavyweight, a super heavyweight. It's not normal,
Right.
right? But I was in such good shape. It was like bouncing on my toes for 20 minutes is no big deal. Like, because it's different, right? I'm not doing weights like you. I don't do, it's everything for me is functional and endurance. And I don't need to throw hard once. I need to throw hard forever. Like,
Right.
so it's similar but different.
Right.
But I liked incorporating the weights, and some people would tell me not to. Like, Frank, don't do that. I was like, man, I know a lot of pros that do it. They just cut out like a couple of weeks prior to fight time.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing. But now it's like, okay, I got to train different. Right? I can't do all that stuff, but I still want to lift. So now it's like getting back into shape. It's like power's there, but endurance is fucking zero. It is like, all right. Like even the leg press, like doing leg press, I was like, it's 20 reps. Why am I fucking dying right now?
Oh my God.
Like starting over is shit. It's fun.
It sucks.
There's parts of it that I look forward to, and I'm the kind of guy that talks a lot of shit to myself. And I'm like, you fucking pussy, do something. Cool. You know what I mean? Like, I'm that person, right? I'm not very loud about it, but I'm definitely talking to myself, like, cussing myself out, right? So, no, once I get a little bit more endurance, I'll put myself up to it.
Yeah. Come through
Worst case
anytime.
scenario, I'll cry like a bitch.
So we have a trainer at our gym, kind of like your style.
Oh, God. Jesus.
Coach E, there's a very famous vlog of me on the internet, and he was being trained by Coach E. I yacked. I sure did. I definitely did.
I'll be a man and say it.
But
That's the hardest working man I've ever seen in my life.
E definitely is, yeah.
Like, for our sport, I think for any real sport, this dude is just, he's the last of a dying breed. He's not normal. He's just not normal. He's made of, like, leather and iron, and I don't understand.
His fists and his face. Yeah.
Like, the dude will jump rope for 20 minutes, and it's not
Non-stop.
jump rope. It's like... And then he will run to the bike. He doesn't... Oh, tired. He runs to the bike and fucking dies. Standing up, go. But it's like... Done. Runs to the treadmill. Gets on. Goes. Runs to the ring. Shadow boxes. I'm like, yo... What? Is he fighting? This guy's retired. What the fuck is wrong with him? Like, this is insane.
He's fighting demons. He's got shit that he working through.
But I've told him 1,000 times, like, I've never seen a harder worker ever in my life, and I've been around a lot of athletes. You just don't see that. I've been around world champions in multiple sports, and the level of intensity that you push with every single rep of everything you do, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, yo, bro, like, I'm a hard worker, right? I push people hard. I've seen people be pushed hard. There's kids out here that do these pyramids that, like, at the end, or I don't know, 100-some pull-ups, 250 push-ups, 1,000,000 abs by the time they're done. And he trains one of them, and this kid's in great shape. He's a fucking athlete. He's like, kid's a pussy. Like, what? He's like, man, he's fucking tired. I was like, baffled. I'm like, okay. Because you can't argue. What are you going to say?
You're like,
No.
let's see you do it. And he's like,
Can't
I
say
will.
shit.
You know,
And
like,
you
that's
do
one
it
of those
10 times
things.
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, dude, like, just E, I love you. And this retard said, hey, I'll train with E. And I was like, why? Why would you say that?
Why would you do that?
And he's just like, why? It's not going to be that bad. I was like, oh, hell no.
I didn't know what I was
So
in for.
I've vlogged the whole thing.
There's also a great clip in there of me jumping rope.
He was calling it jumping rope. That's how you
Okay,
know he's
yeah.
like, that's not something he does.
Yeah, we're still getting there. It's
Jumping
definitely
rope.
level 0. Like 0.5 at max. But what I was getting there was, we had a conversation months ago, and I was like, voluntarily, you know what? I'll do your leg day. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I'll do your leg day. You're like, you sure? I was like, yeah, why not? I'll throw up. It'll be good for the content. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Did you do it?
Not
No,
yet.
we haven't done it yet.
Yeah, we haven't
But
done it yet.
We're going to vlog that. For
Please
gonna
sure.
vlog
tell
it.
me when it is so I can go record this. I will vlog the entire... I'll drive you.
gonna
Just
do
Oh,
it.
you're going to need someone to drive you, for sure, because your ability to push
Oh,
on the
he's
gas
well.
is
He's
not
gonna drive, and I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll be the victim.
holy shit. I can make him cry on the way
His
there.
face, he's like, yes.
His face just lit up.
I know.
Like, she just
content-
told me she's in Rancho Cucamonga.
Yeah.
Which means that's a decent drive, so you're stuck with me in the car for a little while.
I know.
He doesn't like driving fast.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
racing, not driving, racing.
What do you mean?
We race. We don't drive. We race.
Don't do those things, sir. I just drive quickly.
Drive quickly. I mean, yeah. When my ass levitates in the passenger seat, that's space.
Okay, so now I do like a fire round, just quick questions. And like I said, if you want to answer them, cool. If not, no big deal.
Cool.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, I know. Single taken.
Single.
Single.
Super single. I'm like track star. Like,
People can't handle this lifestyle.
no,
Get the
for
fuck
real,
out
they
of here.
can't.
Pfft.
They really can't. Like, I work. I'm not some, like, handout waiting for you to feed me type ass bitch. I work.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to let you come in and change what I've got going on for myself.
Yeah.
Or even think that I'm going to consider what you like or what you don't like. You know, like, I want to make sure that I feel good about me at all times.
Right.
And a lot of people don't. They're intimidated by that. And they're not ready for that type of, like, fire in a woman. A lot of men want that submissive bitch, and I ain't that.
How old are you?
27.
When do you think you'll be ready for family versus, or do you want family? How about that?
You know, I get this question a lot, and I feel like it's really subjective to, like, if I have a partner, you know, somebody that I see myself with in the future, like a future with that person. Right now, as a competitor, as like where my life's at, I have no baby fever, like, at all.
Yeah.
I don't walk by people and be like, oh man, I wish I had that. Like,
Yeah.
nothing about having kids excites me. It actually freaks me out, like, a lot. It's very scary, you know, like everything that you have to go through as a woman.
Sure.
People don't talk about how your pelvis literally splits in half for the baby to go through. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's a lot of bullshit. Yeah.
There's so
thought
much
there.
shit
Yeah.
that, like, happens, you know? And so, I feel like if I was to meet the right person, you know, whatever family that we create is definitely like something I'm open to, but it's not like something that I'm running towards or like I gotta have it,
Yeah.
you know?
Gender roles, not really your flavor.
Yeah, no, no. Like, there's a thing I want a dude that makes me feel small. Like, you know, I'm 5'8". I'm fucking almost 190. Like, I'm a big bitch, okay?
So cute. 190. It's like my left leg.
Oh, how cute, right? No, whatever.
I'm a massive human, though.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, if finding somebody who understands my lifestyle, like
Someone
what I
who
do.
I think it would be someone who does what you do.
No, I actually don't want another bodybuilder at all.
Holy shit.
So it sounds like you've been down that route.
Oh, I have. That was the worst decision of my life. But no, I want somebody who understands what I do, who is active and fit themselves, you know, like who works on themselves. That's obviously like, why would I do so much to make myself the best version of me and you don't do that for you? That kind of doesn't make sense, but you don't have to do what I do. I want you to very much have your own thing.
Yeah.
You know, that way we can kind of have our own thing and do what we love to do together, in a sense, but not you do exactly what I do.
The best relationships are when you have your life, he has his life, and then you have
Right,
each other's
very
life.
much so. Like, we bring our favorites, you know, and we combine them, because bodybuilding itself is a very selfish sport. You know, like you said, fighting is very lonely.
Same with
Bodybuilding is
fighting.
very lonely. There's not a lot of time for social hour. You know, you don't have the energy to go and hang out with people and have them ask you the same fucking questions all the time. How do I lose weight? How do I get rid of these triceps? They're like swinging your fat in your face all the time. And then they tell you their whole life story and like reasons why they're not in the gym and why they suck ass.
Yeah.
You know, like you have had everything super perfect and you're just like easy going and like life has just been a breeze for you, you know? So that's always a great conversation to have. But it's very selfish. You have to take time for what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's things that happen in life where life kind of just blows up around you and you're just like, well, I got to get this done.
So then how does one meet you?
Right now, they just don't.
You just don't.
They just don't. Like, if you want to be friends, like, that's cool. I really have a lot of friends. I don't really have time for friends. I don't really like small talk. So when you ask me how my day is every single day, it's the fucking same.
Yeah.
Like, what'd you do today? I worked and I trained. What'd you train today? Legs. Did you eat? Fuck yeah, I ate. I ate all my food. Like, did you eat? Because I'm on my shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't like small talk. So, I don't know. Like, you have to be really creative. Like, if you want to...
Motherfucker, you better be... Fuck.
Honestly, like, I got a smart mouth. I'm quick with it. I'm smart as shit.
Yep.
I'm very direct. I'm very honest.
Yeah.
And I'm not shy. You know, like, I am, but I'm not. Like, if I find someone attractive, I'll just, like, check you out from afar. I'm probably not going to talk to you, you know, but at the same time, like, if I have something on my mind, I'm not afraid to speak it.
Yeah.
You know, so if you were to come at me, you'd have to be really fucking creative and kind of catch me off guard or do something I'm not used to doing. Like, everyone's like, oh, what color are your eyes? Oh, well, bitch, what do you see? You know, like, I fucking hate that question.
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. They change colors, bro. Like, what do you look? You're looking at me. What do you see? You know, like the stupid ass club questions. But I'm very focused on what I've got going on.
Yeah.
So you'd have to be very creative, like I've said, to distract me from what I've got going on to actually pay attention to you.
Yeah.
You know, like, looks is not everything. Most guys who are attractive are piece of shit. Complete fuckboys, and they're probably, like, sleeping with half the city. That's not attractive to me. I'm not attracted to somebody who sleeps with everybody. You know, because if everybody can have you, why would I want you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm very much drawn to stuff that challenges me, makes me feel like it's not easy to have. Like, I want to work for it, in a sense. But most guys haven't necessarily given me something that I feel like I want to even invest my time into.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, in that sense, I'm very, I don't know, good luck. Good luck, I guess.
What it sounds like.
Wish I could give you a manual, but give it your best shot.
Yeah, you know, make me laugh. I guess that's cool.
Stumped.
Stumped.
There's just so many, because I'm such the... It depends where you are in your life. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want? Right? Do you want family? Do you want these things? Because if that is the way... if that's what you want, then... having
like, if I had a relationship,
wall,
I would totally want a family with that person. You know, like, having... I feel like every girl desires that. You know, it's like being asked to prom or being a princess. It's like these fantasies that you create as a little girl. So, yeah, like, having a family is something that I want. So when I'm looking at someone who already has theirs, it's definitely plays a factor, because as I get older, they're getting older and they have kids already. And most men who have multiple kids that are like teenagers, and, you know, they don't want more kids. They're already done. They've already had their family. So that kind of like takes a bit of like options out for me. And I don't like being restricted. I like to have as many options as possible. I like to decide where the fuck I want to go.
Yeah.
And be able to go that way. And if you tell me no, I'm going to do it anyways.
very competitive.
Yeah, very much so. I'm very stubborn and just...
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I want, period.
Right. Which will
That's
also make
because
dating very difficult.
Yes, it does. But at the same time,
1000%.
like, for a guy who does have the balls to come up to me and, like, ask me for my number or start a conversation,
Sure.
I'm just like, okay, cool. I see you.
Yeah.
You know, like, I see you. You got the balls to actually talk to me. That's one. To have a conversation and be intelligent is different. That's another one, you know.
Yeah.
To fucking make me laugh, that's another thing. So if you can get all these things going, you might have a shot.
Yeah.
You might. But
Might.
that's a big might.
No, you're good. That's like literally, I dwell in that world a lot. Dating
I
is
worry
very-
sometimes that I might not find somebody because I'm very, like, intense of a person. And
Do you call it intense or do you call it masculine?
I'm very intense. Like, I'm very
Like
passionate.
a lot of the traits that you have are masculine traits.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Being combative
I
is a
was
huge
masculine trait. I don't know. I'm Latina, so
that-
I feel like every Latina
Latinas
is
do that
very
shit,
fucking,
yeah.
like, you know, like
Right.
we're smart mouths women. You know, we're fiery, we're feisty.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the culture I've like grown up around. I was raised around.
And then you mentioned the term submissive. Do you find that a negative term?
No, I feel like yeah, it can be, but I feel like as a person who's very dominant individual, I'm searching for a person who allows me to be submissive.
So more dominant.
someone who is more dominant, but in a different way. Like I thought I found that in my last relationship, somebody who was very dominant in their personality, you know, but it wasn't. It was more possessive dominance rather than respective dominance. You know, like I want a man to be a man.
Yeah.
Lead and teach me and, you know, do the things that a man is supposed to do.
Thank you. That's what
you know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't have a man, so I'm not going to sit here and cry and like
No.
be like, oh, how do I change a tire?
But
like,
this is what I try to tell all my boys, and a lot of you guys who are going to listen. She just said exactly what I tell you guys all the time, because as hard as I am on ladies and things like that, I'm hard on the guys too. If you're not a man, you're not doing your job, then it's not their fault, right? A woman desires to be
protected
and protected
Yeah.
and cared for and nurtured.
Yes.
And if you do those things, she will then be submissive to you. And when I say submissive, I don't mean drag the motherfucker by her hair. I mean make your life easy so that you can do everything you need to do to protect and provide for her. That's
we are very
job.
We're nurturing at heart.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's what we're
better
like
at it.
exactly, that's what we do. So naturally we're drawn to find somebody who's going to allow us to do that.
Yeah.
But I have yet to find someone who makes me feel safe in their space.
Yeah.
Have been through a lot of traumatic shit, especially with men.
Sure.
So finding a person who makes me feel safe is like it's number one.
Yeah.
And if I don't gel with you, like if our energies don't connect well, or, you know, like there's red flags, I'm not going to trust you. I'm not going to be submissive to you. I'm not going to allow you to direct me.
Right.
You know? And so that's the biggest thing too, is like most women who have everything together want to have a time or a place or a person where they don't have to.
Right. That's every guy too. Like
Yeah.
a guy, the hardest part for people to understand, especially with this modern feminism crap that most of you guys are fed, which is absolute trash. Every woman deserves everything a man has. They deserve every single right. There should be no difference. We are yin and yang. We balance each other. We need
100%.
you and you need us.
Yes.
I don't think one is better at all. That's not what I mean by that. But the I don't need you type shit, that's stupid. Because if I can say I need you, why can't you say you need me?
Right.
Right. I need you to create life. I need you to be my partner. I'm willing to die, do everything I can to protect you and our loved ones. Why can't you just say you need me back? Because it's this thing we're pushing to create divide, which I don't understand.
Right.
I don't
It's a
get
vulnerability level that people are afraid to reach by saying that they need someone.
Right.
You know, because then you're then saying that you can't do it yourself, and
right.
that
And that's not the truth at all. Right? Like, again, people do better with people. Like, it's even in classes, like when I teach, it's funny, I'll watch, because we're pack animals, right? That's what we are. We're hardwired this way.
Right.
There could be 3 people in class. There's 20 bags out there. Those 3 people will all be next to each other.
Together.
And they don't even know they do it. Right? And I watch it all the time. I'm like, it's fucking hilarious. All right, guys, grab weights and move. And they all end up in the same little, congregate in the same little area. Once in a while, you'll have an outcast who comes over here, right?
Yeah, does the smart thing, you know,
know what I mean?
just like, I'm not going to follow them. Fuck that.
But yeah, but these are the things that I tell the boys, and you know what I mean? It's good for them to hear from a female. Like, if you guys can't let her feel safe or be in a position to want to be vulnerable with you, then you're doing something wrong as a man. You're not doing your shit, right? Like, that's your fault, right? And a lot of guys don't take ownership. They look for excuses of why this girl does this shit. It's because you allow it, right? And same thing. If she's not giving you her time, energy, her feminine energy, all these kinds of things, it's because you're not doing your part as a man to earn it. You know what I mean? So I know a lot of my members hear me talk a whole bunch of shit, and sometimes they think it's only to women. It's not. It's just because that's who usually gives me the most headache, and I don't have a problem fighting back, and I don't ever budge. Because I really, really, really study this stuff and go into it because I want to help the boys.
Yeah.
I see a lot of guys in here that don't get any love and attention at all because they're average. Every woman believes they deserve this fucking thing because most girls have been taught from the day they're born, they're a queen, you're a princess, you deserve everything. That's not true. And I have 2 daughters, right? And I'm just saying, like, yo, if you do nothing, you hold 0 value. If your WAP is all you think what values you, you're an idiot. right? Because there's a million of you. Look on Instagram, right? You outnumber the 1% of guy, which all of you think you deserve. You're a fucking fat 4. Why do you deserve that guy? I don't get it. I'm a fucking 6'7" on a good day, right? I'm not gonna go out there looking at a fucking 12 and be like, "Yo, what's cracking?" You know what I mean?
I get those
Like-
guys, and they're literally looking up to me, and I'm just like,
Looking
bro,
up to
I
you,
can
that's
see
the
over
best.
your head. Like,
Right? But like, stay in your lane. But you can't tell a girl that because then you're body shaming. You're a fucking. You hate women. Blah blah blah. Bullshit.
people
If
would just
you-
want to find a reason to be upset
Right.
at this
It's
point.
like if
It's
you
like-
want the like, I have plenty of people here, and I'm pretty vocal about it. Like, oh, man, if you want to be alone for the rest of your life, by all means, keep doing what you're doing.
But you know what's funny? If you look at some of those women's reactions after you speak your points, they go,
oh man,
yeah, because you know it's right.
that's kind of accurate.
And I've helped a lot of guys and a lot of girls with
Yeah.
relationships just to get out of their own way. Like, we tend to do it ourselves sometimes, right? And I've been victim of that stuff too. But I just try to touch base and see where people kind of are, you know what I mean? Especially because right as soon as you start talking, you're very aggressive. So right away, I'm just kind of trying to figure you out, dissect you a little bit,
Right.
and see what you're about. And you do put off that, don't fuck with me, get out of here. But then once you talk to you and you smile and you laugh and you kind of guard down a little bit, and now you're open, you say what you
Yeah.
want. Okay, cool. Now there's
Yeah.
the truth. The truth is, yeah, I would do that if this dude wasn't a bitch. And that's fair. 1,000% fair. Right? I fuck with that.
What's your PR on hip thrusts? Wait for this number. I know it's large.
675.
Mother
Fuck out of here.
fucker.
Really?
Yeah, I
I
hit
knew
7
it.
plates on each side
Sheesh.
Jesus. I knew it was
4.
up there.
for 4.
Do you squat?
Yes.
What's your squat?
315.
Damn.
Now counting with the knees that you had.
That's that's current.
I mean,
yeah.
Just because
Jeez.
upper body is the only thing I'm good at, bench.
I don't bench at all, but I could hit a plate on there easy.
Okay. Curls
No, I don't do upper body at all.
and back, anything. Lats, nothing.
I mean, I used to train upper body, so like when I still do upper body, like I could easily lat pull for 15 reps at 110, 130.
You got shoulder boulders.
Yeah, I got
so
fucking shoulders. You know,
shoulder press?
I can dumbbell bench 60-pound dumbbells, incline bench dumbbells.
Yeah.
My strength is there. I just don't
Don't need to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't need
get
to
it.
build it.
That hip thruster PR number though.
I actually hip
ridiculous.
thrusted a tower of people at work.
oh, I saw that video.
I saw it.
Yep.
That shit was lit.
I had,
It was
I had
like-
some of the girls do the hip thrust, and I was pushing them that day because of it. And I was like, look, you see all them fucking plates? 7, motherfucker. How many you gonna get? And I think they got up in the 5s or something, like Sai and Nat.
Like maybe 5.
Yeah, so like I casually rep out like 3, like your dude with the warm up of 3 plates on the incline. That's me with hip thrust right now. I could easily warm up, like my warm up is 2 plates, and then I'll get up to like 3, 4, and if I want to push it for heavy, like I'll go to the 7.
Yeah.
But I'm not in a place where I need to be pushing super heavy right now.
Yeah. Got it.
Sometimes when we get more food, I'll get excited and be like, "Oh yeah, let's get it," you know. But we ain't got the food there.
How many calories are you eating a day?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Oh.
My coach doesn't necessarily give me calories.
Just 'cause you-
He just tells me exactly what to eat. And he's just recently changed my meal plan, so I'm getting a little bit more carbs. I'm getting carbs in 5 of my 6 meals instead of just 2.
Dope.
Yeah. So I went from like eating 5 rice cakes a day to like regular slices of bread and sweet potato.
Yeah.
It's nice.
That's huge in that
Yeah.
one, by the way.
It's
That's,
huge.
that is a tower of like
It's huge. I
mocha
got-
chocolate cake.
Yeah.
6.5 ounces of sweet potato today, and I was like,
Oh,
"What?"
she was hyped.
I was like,
Oh,
"What?"
damn.
Texting my coach, "Did you mean to put that number?"
Yeah. Are you sure before I eat this?
I know. I was like, "I already ate it, but
I'm just double checking. It's already in me, but sorry.
Don't say
Favorite
that.
bodybuilder?
Favorite bodybuilder, wellness competitor. Her name is Franciele Matos. She's Brazilian. She won the Olympia, the very first wellness Olympia, which is last year, and she's an absolute just fucking monster.
Yeah.
Her physique. She has 2 kids, I believe.
Oh, damn.
So mama 2, and her physique is just ridiculous. It's so beautiful in the way she's created, like built herself. Which I love a lot of like top bodybuilders, like I believe her name is Sin, and she's the figure Olympian, 6-time repeat Olympian, I believe. First woman to ever do that, first black woman to have that many.
Yeah.
So she has a lot of accolades, a lot of records. But she's somebody who I looked up to in figure itself, who I believe that made that division look so beautiful. Such a masculine look on women, and she still brought a feminine look to it and made it flow and very woman-like. And so she's somebody that I've always admired. But Francielle Mathos is just... she's unreal.
Yeah.
She's unreal. And to think that she's only been competing like the same amount of time that I've been competing, it's a little discouraging sometimes. It's like, fuck, we've been doing the same amount of time and you look like that and I look like this. You know, like I'm still trying to get on your level. But like I said before, I'm fighting a fight with both hands behind my back.
Yeah.
So to be even close to her, like, it's a goal. I'm gonna get there.
Yeah. Good.
She looks ridiculous.
Favorite male bodybuilder?
I don't really have a male bodybuilder.
Do you follow it at all?
No, not really.
Got it.
It was like football, you know, like baseball. People I don't really care.
Yeah. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
Nothing to do with me at all.
Yeah.
Who's yours?
What?
Favorite male bodybuilder? Do you have one? Or fighter?
Well, who's your favorite bodybuilder? Start with that, because I know you've recently been into it more.
My favorite, just because I'm old, was always Arnold. Because I got to grow up watching his, what do you call it? Pumping Iron, and then when they came out after that, when he came back, because he was shooting Conan, like, that was pretty cool, because he was, like, just being a dick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, they just saw me training for Conan, and I figured I would try to do in 8 weeks what they're doing their entire life. Wow. I'm like, what an asshole.
I love him.
And did the referee, like, all the judges, people are like, there's no way he can come back. That means bodybuilding stood still for this amount of years. There's no way. Guys are so different now. And then he goes out and won. And granted, I think maybe some of it was political because of who he was and his name and his reputation.
Yeah.
But still, to even have the balls to get back on there and do that and still look the way he did,
Yeah.
that guy's a different kind of human.
That's for sure.
Like, I like that kind of drive. Like, no one supports you. There's no way you're going to do it. I did it. I'm going to go into acting. You can't do that. You have an accent, right? You look the way you look. No one's going to fucking cast you. One of the highest paid action heroes of our generation. One of the best, in my opinion. Then you say, I want to get into politics. The fuck? Are you kidding me? How? Then you actually do it.
And he actually
And
did
then he
it.
said, hey, guess what? Now I'm going to put a fucking ice on the cake. I'm going to marry Kennedy. Go fuck yourselves. What the fuck? There's no way that guy's story is real, right? Like, how do you do that? Right? Because that much belief in himself. And his drive, dedication, motivation, like all those things. I think I was very blessed to have a lot of really dope-ass people to look up to that did different shit when I was young.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a funny line that Kevin Hart says, and he's like, I got my hustle from my mom. She was like, don't tell me I can't do something, because that's going to piss me off. If you tell me I can't do something, now I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. Like,
100%.
that's a challenge.
That's 100% me.
Like, don't tell me I can't do something.
Don't tell me I can't do something. I'm gonna do it.
Don't
it might
say-
take me a long time to do it, but it's going to get done.
Yeah.
Don't say your legs are fucked, you can't do anything anymore. Okay, no.
Watch me.
Watch me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Watch
been my
me.
thing. Watch me.
That's
You're like,
good.
you can't do this. Watch me.
That's dope. And you're young, man.
Yeah.
Fucking do it. Like, that's the best part. You're still so young. 27?
27, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Man, 27. I was fucking killer, bro.
Man, he's all thinking back.
27, God.
Reminiscing.
Because then you realize how old you are. I'm like, I'm 41. Fuck. Been doing this a long time. Good God. Super controversial topic. Sorry, gotta ask anyway. Male and female sports. How do you feel about it?
I'm honestly not a fan of it.
I love you even more.
I'm not a fan of it. I think that it's sometimes it could be, depending on where they're at in their development, it can be very like you have the advantage.
I'm gonna take it a
Especially if
step
you're a
further. I
dude.
don't give a fuck where you're at in your development. You stay the fuck out of female sports.
Man, if you're a dude and you've been a dude most of your life, you have more muscle developed than a woman would develop.
Yeah.
Like
So blood oxygen
And just in
oxygen
general,
levels, muscle density.
the testosterone that you've had
Yeah.
in your body to build that muscle, you know, like you need testosterone to build muscle in general.
Yeah.
So a lot of women have low test levels, you know, they have to actually take that and it helps them with the physique goals or whatever, just maintaining a healthy lifestyle. And
Dude, recovery is huge too. Like there's
Yeah.
so many pieces to it.
so there's so much that you can accomplish and develop and build, and then you decide that you want to be a woman. Like, yeah, your hormones are changing, but that muscle that you developed is still there. It doesn't just disappear.
Yeah. But
You
your
know,
blood
like-
oxygen rates, like all that's not
Well,
gonna
you're not
change
as
unless
strong
take your
because now you're
hormones.
pumping a bunch of estrogen, and there's all these hormones and like all these other issues or these technicalities that they have. But the point is, you still had that foundation,
Yeah.
regardless of being estrogen filled or not.
Yeah.
You know, like you have an advantage in general.
Yep.
Yeah.
Period.
I was interested in from your perspective specifically because you're strong.
I mean,
Because you do
I've
what you
seen
do.
a couple transgender individuals compete and on the women's side
Mm-hmm.
already, and their physique wasn't like dominating at all because of the estrogen level, and all those hormones do affect your ability to develop the way that you want to.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to athletics, like other sports where it's like track or swimming and things like that, where athleticism is really like a huge aspect,
Yeah.
that's the part that I don't necessarily like support. And it does kind of suck as a woman who's had to work so hard to gain my strength.
Yeah.
It's almost like like a slap in the face, like when those
100%.
people kind of come
Yeah.
up to you and they're like, I want to fight, and you're just like, really? Like, you think it's that easy?
The hard part for me with women or men in women's sports is like swimming is a good one because I have daughters, and to picture providing and doing all the work and killing myself to make sure that they have the life they want. It's what it takes away from them. It's not just about the guy that won, right? Like in this swimming thing, right?
Yeah,
He's like
that-
240th, 50, whatever the hell he ranking as a man, and then comes out and puts a fucking skirt on, and now all of a sudden he's number one.
And then just won like the Woman Athlete of the Year award or something.
But my problem with that is the top three podium finishes were now bumped. So the girl who was third, who was going to take a bronze, now gets nothing, right? The one who was going to take gold now gets silver. So scholarships, money,
Yeah.
opportunity, all the things that come along with it that people tend not to talk about, they're not going to get anymore, right?
Right, because they didn't
you
place.
didn't get it,
Yeah.
right? And that to me is unfair. They've worked their entire life for it. You worked your life as a man to do it, and you weren't successful. So
Now you
now
wanna
you
jump
put on
ship.
a fucking bathing suit, and now you think that's okay. I respect if you're a man, you want to be a woman, and woman want to be. I don't give a fuck.
No, 100%.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Whatever floats your goat.
But anything that we do in life has repercussions, right? I understand that I took years off my life and a lot of my stuff is broke. Calves are trash, knees no good, shins trash, hands are arthritic, right? Like, I accept what comes with it because that's the consequence of my action, right? The consequences of your body breakdown, how you feel like you're 80, right? Your knees and shit like that from pushing yourself as hard as you push. That's a consequence to your actions. You
100%.
chose to do it. If you want to choose to go from one to another, you need to weigh your options. And that option may be, hey, I love this sport, but if I want to be this now, I can no longer do that sport. Is that action worth it? Right? You can't just say, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to go
do this,
and
but
take
not
over
in
this.
that competitive level.
Right.
You could still participate in that
Casual or
sport,
something,
but
yeah.
like,
Yeah, no, but I'm
you don't have to
saying
take it to that level.
as a competitor, like, right, if you're an Olympic swimmer as a man and you say I want to be this, good for you, do that, but that doesn't mean you just get to jump in and take over women's Olympics.
Right.
Like, that to me is unfair.
Right.
That shouldn't happen.
Right.
Right,
But
because
now
those
it goes
girls
back
aren't
to
gonna
the
get it.
fact that everyone is looking for something to be a victim at.
Right,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So now it's just like, at what point do you require, like, you can't just keep transgender people out of sports.
No, but they should have their own division. Like, look at women's MMA is extremely new, right? That's
Right.
not
But
very
imagine
old.
if you had some dude who trained
There
as
was
a man.
her name was Fallon Fox,
And she switches over.
She did.
And she fucking monsters everybody.
and she beat the dog shit out of a few women, like
Right.
cracked skulls.
Right.
And then she was finally beat by a girl who was better than her, but submitted her.
Right.
She wasn't able to, like, just completely outmuscle her.
Right.
But that to me is completely unfair. What
Yeah.
in the ass is happening? So she doesn't compete like that, right? I don't know what she's doing now, to be completely honest with you. So before you keyboard warriors go fucking crazy, relax. I just don't care. But there should be their own division, right?
Sure.
Men had MMA, women did not. Women wanted to compete, so guess what they did? They started a women's division. So just like if transgenders want a division, I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah.
But have your own division. I understand it's going to be small in the beginning because there may not be a lot. But women MMA was in its infancy. There was only a few fighters in the
And
beginning.
honestly, it might even be beneficial because it creates that community.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
not necessarily isolating, because then that would be like, oh, now we're isolating women from men. But no, you're keeping everybody safe for the most part.
There's just differences, and that's the problem that some people, when we say male and female, like they get upset about it. We're different. There's a lot of things that I can do that you cannot, and there's a lot of things that you can do that I cannot, and that's okay. That's totally fine. I believe men's shoulders are built broader and bigger to carry the stress of the world, to provide and take care of the woman. The woman has the hips to create and hold the womb and give birth to the kids, right? We need each other. We don't need to pit each other against each other. We need each other. There's nothing wrong with this, right?
Right.
So, if you want to do what you want to do, that's totally fine. I don't care. But for everyone to start freaking the fuck out about it, and you know what I mean, like,
Yeah.
who's that tennis player, the really crazy ass one that yells and screams all the time?
John McEnroe.
I believe it's him. When he was asked, who's the greatest female tennis player of all time? Serena, by far, without a doubt. Will she go down as a top 10? No. Like, I think he plays her, like, I don't know, 500, like something crazy. And they're like, what the fuck? You fucking hate women. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm just being honest. She got her ass kicked by high school students, male high school students, right? And she said it herself, like, but people still have a problem because the narrative is male versus female,
Yes.
right? And people tend to do that because it's triggering, right? When I have these conversations with girls, I'll sometimes push buttons to see what I get, and as soon as it's because you're a girl, they stop listening. It goes anything you can say
Out the window.
all stats and data and facts. It just goes out the window.
Like, what'd you say?
Yeah, it's now it's just an argument, right?
Yeah.
There's no conversation anymore, and that's where you see the media and the news, right? Like I heard a guy today say they can make an ant a dinosaur. That's what the media does. It's fucking crazy. This is the truth.
Yep.
And I firmly believe that they should have their own divisions.
100%.
I don't think we should ban them from sports because that's not fair.
Right. 100%.
If you want that to be your life, I support you. Be your life. I
And
don't
just let
give a
that
shit.
field be fair for all of them.
Correct. It has to be fair for everyone. I don't want a guy to take away from women or a woman to take away from a man. What's your ultimate goal in your world?
In bodybuilding?
Yeah.
I want to make it to Olympia. I want to, honestly, making it to Olympia is great, but I want to be competitive. I want to be, I want to make a name for myself in that sense. You know, like, Mandeezy and being a unicorn is already a thing. And more than I actually realize that it is. You know, people know me without me knowing them, in a sense. And it's more than just being an influencer, because I have a lot of followers, but I don't have a lot of followers, you know, like that typical influencer type of follow shit. But I really want to feel like I did something with my life. And whether that's going to Olympia or just giving it the biggest fight that I ever gave, whatever that looks like, I just want to be competitive, you know? I just want to keep working and just be my best. So if Olympia is a goal for me, if it doesn't happen, you know, that's cool. If it does and I don't do that well, like, you know, I'm not necessarily looking for some average shit. I want to be the greatest, obviously.
Yeah.
But being realistic and not necessarily setting, like, I don't want to be that person who sets goals for myself so high that and then they never happen and you get crushed because they never happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can set a goal for yourself and just make sure that you do everything every day to get towards that, to work towards that, you know?
To grow with each goal.
Right. And so I don't necessarily know if winning Olympia will ever be on the cards for me. Just because, like, I have all these limitations, you know? Like, if I make it there, I'll be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You know, like, I got to the biggest stage in the world at what I do. And I'm going to do my best at this stage. Like, I'm not just going to lay over and let you kick my ass. I'm going to fucking fight.
Yeah.
And so I feel like once I reach that point, my goals will then evolve and become something new. And then I'm going to go towards that and just keep going. But the biggest thing is just leaving some type of legacy behind.
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like is kind of like, yeah, it's up for grabs at this point.
What you're making is a journey, like how you said, the journey and every step you
Yeah.
take along the way, not necessarily the destination, but the journey along that way. You know,
I'm writing the book to my life.
yeah,
Yeah.
You're
Very
writing
much
your
so.
book.
There's a lot of people reading
What's
chapters
your book
too.
like?
Yeah,
Yep.
a lot of people I've realized too that I've been through a lot of fucked up shit, and my ability to pull myself out of those dark holes is a part of my legacy in itself. So like the fact that I never quit, the fact that I'm just a fighter, that is a part of my legacy, and I want to continue to make sure that I motivate and wherever I go, I turn around to carry and help the next person behind me. It's never just me being and reaching these levels. It's all of us. You know, you elevate and you turn around and grab the next person, you help them elevate.
Yeah.
And that itself is another addition to your legacy that becomes my legacy.
Yeah.
So these people that I influence and that I change, I have the ability to change their lives in any way, that becomes my legacy. And I really want my story itself to do that.
Yeah.
So if making it to Olympia if that's a part of my story, fuck yes. You know, like that is like gold. You know, that's like making it to freaking Olympus with Zeus and shit. You know, but at the end of the day, if that doesn't happen, my legacy itself was that I gave it everything that I had, and I never complained about it. I never cried about woe is me, why my situation is this way.
Yeah.
I gave it everything.
And you brought people with you.
And I brought people with me, and I helped their lives improve, and I showed them that there's always another way.
Yeah.
It's never just one path. There's always another way, and you might have to take a big-ass machete and cut that bitch yourself.
Yeah.
You might have to make that path yourself, but there's another path.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to leave. That's my goal itself.
That's literally why I'm here. That's
Yeah.
exactly why I tell half the people why I do what I do.
When you die, people are going to forget who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
They're like,
leave something.
there will be a moment that people miss you, but eventually they will forget.
Yeah.
You
Everyone
need to
goes
leave
work
something.
the next day. Life
Yep.
continues.
Leave a footprint or something behind.
Yeah.
To be remembered by.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing that I like to remind myself too when I compete is like all that work behind the scenes, that's got to mean something.
Yeah.
It's got to matter. It's got to.
Like a legacy, I think, for me would be my boys saying, I fight like Frank. Like, I think in the ring like him.
Mm-hmm.
For someone be, man, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to train like Mandeezy. I
Yeah.
got this shit.
I get those messages a lot, and it makes me feel really good
Hell
because they see who I am, and I like. Obviously, I take pictures with the Kavika here. You know, it's like a lot of booty shots, and it's very sexual and sensual shit, and like that's
Yeah.
a part of me that I've learned to embrace and not be afraid of and shy about and embarrassed of. You know, because women are not supposed to be sexual beings. We're not supposed to be powerful people, according to society.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
According to society,
Yeah.
you know, but you meet a really powerful woman, and she's very sexual. She's very everything. She's so much.
I
in
think
one.
a woman should be that 100%.
Yeah.
Just not for everyone.
Right, 100%. And so, like,
Simple.
I can definitely post a picture of my ass in a sense, but like, you slide in my DMs, and I'm just like, don't even try it. You know, like it's not an invitation for you. It's for the ladies. You know, it's to give them motivation to see what
Yeah.
they can create and to see who they can become if they're just not afraid to. You know, if they just remove that blockage from themselves, then they can do that. And I do that for a lot of women. And I've been told by family members of mine that I don't inspire nobody. I couldn't possibly inspire anyone with the things that I do and the direction that I've gone. Family members have told me that I'm worldly because they're religious, so they're very concerned with the direction that I go because I'm so much involved and interlaced with the world.
Yeah.
And so it's been very motivating for me to sit there and pull so many women, hundreds of women, specifically women,
Yeah.
to follow me and become stronger and to stand up for themselves and to speak up for themselves
Yeah.
and to say no and to say that they've been disrespected when they have. You know, like there's so many things that like, man, I wish my mom taught me how to handle a situation like when people make passes at you or comments that are very uncomfortable. And as a woman, you're kind of told to like kind of giggle and shrug it off, you know, like don't make a scene. But what do you do when you don't make a scene and now it's transcended in something bigger and more dangerous and more traumatic, and now it's reaching levels that it should have never reached, you know?
Yeah.
What do you do? Because in your head you're taught to just smile and be kind and to be adoring, but not stern, strong, fierce, not to be boisterous, you know, because those are all negatives or masculine traits, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to teach women that is okay.
There's just a time and place and a time. I think that there's a lot of confusion as to what some of those things are.
Yeah.
Like if I walked by, I was like, nice meeting you. You look really good. But I gotta go, but it was really nice meeting you.
Right.
Right? That's not intrusive. I'm not being
No.
an asshole. I'm being observant, and I stated a fact.
Right. And honestly, your delivery itself is very respectful.
Right? So but that is where I am with men. My goal is to help men
Understand the difference.
understand the difference, not be afraid, say what you have to say, and also stick up for yourself, because those things are so hand in hand. I watch it all day.
Right. Right.
Right? I have a lot of good looking dudes in here with their shirts off training, and I watch fucking chick. Fuck, he's hot. Or hey, dude. And again, it's just smile and say thanks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't you dare say, bitch, I would never, because you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there
No,
are
yeah.
some similarities there, but yeah, no, I think sometimes they get a little bit misconstrued.
Definitely. So it's just teaching women that it's okay to stand up for themselves, like I said,
Yeah,
and
100%.
to speak out when they feel disrespected or when they feel wrong, but not in a disrespectful way where you're just like, you fucking disrespected me and you know, like that's not the way you handle shit. You don't do that.
Right.
You can tell somebody like, you know, I don't like what you said without, you know, just like that, actually, I don't really like what you said. Please don't do that. Or,
Yeah.
you know what, like, no, like, we're not going to go that direction, and just shut it down.
Yeah.
And not being uncomfortable enough to do that or afraid to do that, you know?
And ladies that are listening, guys prefer that. We don't
Yeah.
want to spin our wheels and waste our time either.
Exactly.
If I sit here and I'm like, hey man, how are you? Like, let's go to the. Oh man, that sounds great. Yeah, text me sometime. And then you guys spend fucking 8 weeks of texting and never do anything. But just say you're not interested. Let's fucking move on.
Yeah,
Like, for fuck's sake. Like,
what's the point? Like, you enjoy wasting your time having this meaningless conversation?
Right, exactly.
No, fuck yeah, no, dude. We're not going to have a chance. You don't have a chance. It's like, don't just keep it pushing.
yeah, exactly.
Basically how it goes. But at the same time, it's just like, oh, don't even cross that boundary. If you are a friend, don't get super comfortable and start crossing lines, because now I'm being kind to you.
Yeah, we'll see.
you
Guys,
mistake
and
my
girls,
kindness for-
friendship is like.
Yeah,
That's another thing.
interest
that's not
or
really
some other shit.
That's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Guys
So-
and girls, friendships is very rare.
That itself, having women see that from what I do,
Yeah.
is rewarding as hell, because I've been told so much on the negative aspect.
Yeah.
Told to stop doing this, stop doing that. You shouldn't do that. You should behave this way. This is how a woman is supposed to be. You need to be more ladylike. Women don't have muscles. They don't lift heavy. You eat too much. Like, everything that you do, everybody has a fucking opinion about. So, you know, like, do what makes you happy at the end of the day. And if people don't like it, cool.
100%.
That's cool. They don't got to be around.
Dealt with the same shit. You can't fight. There's no way you're going to do this. You're too big. It's never going to happen. Blah, blah, blah. Catch me outside, Holmes.
Yeah.
You know where my gym's at? Come on in. Everyone's welcome. They know where I'm at.
Yeah.
My whole career was this way. So, I understand.
Yeah. So that's in my head, that's part of the legacy that I choose to want to leave behind is making women or people around me stronger, helping them realize their power.
Yeah.
Because we're all so powerful people, and we can do such amazing things if you just allow yourself and get the fuck out of your own way.
100%.
You know, and so that's what I do with my unicorns, my girls, my teams. I have a lot of damaged women
Sure.
where I find they're, you know, they just come to me. They just kind of come to me, you know.
It's funny because you attract what
I'm a
you
fixer,
are.
so, you know.
I literally say that all day. That is my word. I say I'm a fixer every day, but I literally have some type of weird fucking bat signal outside that signals the fucking weirdos.
Literally.
And all the troubled
the
people.
most
and they
traumatized, most damaged
they
people.
find me, and I'm like, what? How the fuck did you find me? Like, what
Yeah.
the hell?
You're like,
Do
all
I-
right.
But I really believe you attract the kind of energy and the my boy just gave me this term, vibrations. Thank
Yeah.
you, Edvin. Thank you. You know, the vibrations you put out, right? And I
Yeah.
think that's why I get a lot of the boys I get that are either shy, introverts, damaged because I'm that person. So they might
Yeah.
see themselves
You see them
in
yourself
me,
in them.
and then when I see that in them, like this fucking
Yeah.
kid over here, okay, you're not living your life to the best, and I know that because I was you.
Right.
How do we get you to
Tap into that.
let's
Yeah.
get that, because there's so much more to life and it's so great.
Yes.
Let's do that.
So
You know what I mean?
that's that feeling. That's what I
I'm,
see.
I'm pro man without hating women. And I
Right.
want women to be pro women without hating men. My
Yeah.
biggest complaint with the modern feminist movement is the hatred of men. It's
Right.
the throwing them away. We don't need you. You're trash. We
It's
can
the
live without you.
in
which
order to
is-
be a feminist or someone who's pro men, you have to dislike the others. You know what I'm
But
saying? It's
the
like
actual definition of a feminist is someone who believes that you have all the same rights as us. So in
Right.
in that
It's like
definition,
contradiction.
I am a feminist. Right?
Yes.
I really believe you do
Yes.
deserve all the things that we have, and there should be no difference. I'm behind that. But that doesn't mean that we have to. It's like reverse racism, right? Like,
Right.
It's you can do this, but if you do this, it's okay. But if he does that, he's
It's
going to
wrong.
jail. I'm like, fuck, this is confusing. So
right.
I can say hello, but if I say it in a tone that you don't like,
Like, hello.
I'm a fucking rapist. But
Yeah.
you can go and smack my ass and grab my fucking chest because I look good, and I just have to take it because I'm a boy. It's very confusing, right? So those kinds of things, I think there has to be balance. And when I hear people, especially like ladies, talk about empowering women, I love it as long as it's with the
The respect of the others.
correct. Like, don't do it in a way where it's a hatred of the guy, because
Yeah.
without that dude, life is meaningless, and without you, our life is meaningless.
Right.
Right. At the end of the day, I'm not taking fighting with me as much as I would love to. We're not going to take any fucking weights with you.
Right.
Right. When we leave,
That's it.
it's a lonely ass place, and when we're too old to do some of the shit we want to do, we have this person we're with.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Those are some of the be the biggest decisions we get to make. Right.
100%.
So, yeah, it's just dope.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
It's a lot of fun. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that it's only been about a few hours.
A few.
Has it really?
So, if there's anything you want to know, comment below. We will follow along when Kavika go gets his ass whooped by her.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be super.
It will
fun.
definitely happen. He'll be there vlogging it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
it'll
one
be
day
great.
I'll have her come in and punch shit, because that'll be fun too.
Yep.
I'm so down for that.
Totally see her cracking some shit and having fun with
You
it.
definitely could.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, with that, love you, gang.